It's up. We'll see who shows up. See if the volume's working. All right, let me give it a second. Give me just a second. Michael. I think you said Michael. Let me see. This is kind of a bad time. And this is also, I think, a bad time to do addiction recovery. But what's up, Michael? How you doing? Let's see what happens. James Miller, how you doing tonight? I'm not feeling this, but I'm doing it because I don't want to flake. I already flaked today. So there was somebody prior to me starting the show, and I forgot the name, and it's cool, who left a comment about Eric Foss or Foss. Anyway, anything. Whenever I talk about addiction and recovery, I won't answer questions and stuff like that. I get if people are in my chat room and they're talking about certain individual, I totally get it. I don't understand why people just leave comments about another channel. If, like, he started, for example, and just left something about dental floss, I think, or something. I don't get it. Like, why? Again, if there's people in the chat talking, because that happens a lot. I got guys that are faithful subs, I guess you call them, that show up a lot, and then they know other people in the chat, and then they start talking about individuals. That's okay. I understand that, right? But just to pop up and just leave a comment about any channel, I guess whether it's negative or positive, I don't really get that or why. This one I think was there's 2 comments. I did delete them. I never delete anything. But I'm just not. I don't get that part of it. And really, I don't get if you have something to say to somebody, or if you have something to say about a negative channel, why don't you go put it on that channel? I'm just not sure. That particular comment was about Eric. People have tried to get me to comment about Eric before. I have not watched, and that's not a disrespect to Eric, I have not watched a single episode or anything he had to say since there's a person that was on Angel Gotti's show, came on and started talking, and they were talking about Mob 2 and how it started in drama Mob 2. That was the day that I think I don't know if I subbed, but it wasn't anything about that channel. It was just about mob stuff. And I think he's going in that direction, and I think he has been, and that's totally fine. Again, people try to get him to comment about me and all that. I don't know him. People said things about him that are negative. Maybe one day he'd come on the show. I don't know. I'm not saying now. I'm just saying I don't know nothing about the dude. You know what I'm saying? I know that there's a friend of mine that likes him. But that's about it. That's all I want to say, and I shouldn't even said that much. It was more about comments. That's all. And whoever made the comment, it's cool. I'm not putting you down. I'm just saying I don't understand why. That's all. Okay? That's it. Whoa, I'm from Arkansas. Not from Arkansas, but anyway. So, James, how am I doing? I don't know if you saw the short. Wow, what a trip. So last night I finished my live. And I thought it was actually later, but for the first time, I went back and watched the video I did last night, which is talking about tomorrow night. Be here tomorrow night. Which was talking about tomorrow night. And normally I'll go back and I'll watch and skim through videos. So since I've been out of prison, I've done that for different reasons. When I first started YouTube, I think I went back and watched myself a lot. Just watched it a lot. And to see what I said, because I get going sometimes. But I usually do. I saw me last night, and specifically said it was 12 o'clock or just after 12. Man, I can't believe I took 2 generic allergy tablets last night. 2. And I slept. So it was from 12:30 because I went to bed immediately following that. I brushed my teeth, went to bed, and immediately I did not wake up until 1:47. I thought the power went out at 1 a.m. because the power goes, it's gone out like 3 times in 2 weeks down here at nighttime. And I was tripping. I could not believe that. I never, well, no, it's not like I never. As far as generic allergy tablets, I bought them because I'm broke. You know, there's what brand would I haven't taken them for years. There's a brand I normally use, and it's because I've been going crazy. It's been more of the eye itching than running sinuses. But I saw that video. I looked fucking high. I looked so, I swear to God, and somebody was saying last night, but it was too early, about how many perks to do during something. But man, I looked at it and I'm like, wow. I said I was tired, but then to sleep 13, almost 14 hours. I did that the first month I was out, maybe the first 6 weeks. I did it a couple times because I didn't sleep for 2 nights or something. So I have bad sleeping patterns for sure. But I felt like it was so weird. It was such a weird and bizarre feeling. And I was like out of it. And I say that because you said, how are you doing? As about 7 o'clock, after I said I was going to come on, I started feeling like just knocked kind of out. Like I didn't want to do this, but I have to do it. Today I blew my schedule that I just started. And that has a lot to do. It's a total schedule. It's about drugs and alcohol, but eating, sleeping, all that blew that. And I don't know why I didn't set an alarm. I didn't feel like I needed to. And man, I had some crazy drugs. Well, it has to do. This is drug talk, right? This is about drugs. This is a drug show. I don't know if I masturbated or had a wet dream. I don't know what the hell happened. I don't know what happened, man. Crazy. Anyway, so let's not go too far left on that. But yeah, man. Antia? Wow, Sirocco? Wow, that's okay. How you doing? Go Razorbacks, Mr. Vapor. Go Razorbacks. Yeah, it's this hog wild. People are hog wild in these parts for sure. Beautiful stadium. It's nice up that way too. All right, so this was good for 12 because I know some of the people that would have been, but whatever. Suboxone, buprenorphine, talked about it. It comes up in the chat a lot. There is right now, I didn't know, and somebody might have put this. There's a lawsuit on this stuff right now, okay? If you guys don't know what buprenorphine is, everybody pretty much knows what methadone is. It was designed, I should say, for the same thing methadone is. And might I add that was methadone originally designed to taper people off or to stay on it long term? Of course, the pharmaceutical companies love it, you know. Yesterday, I was talking to a friend, same friend I talked to for 2.5 hours today, FaceTime, and the lawsuit came up. So I figured that would be a good time to go back. Like I said, I know at 12 o'clock, there's like 4 or 5 people I knew would have, and I could have let them know too, because there's some people that are real advocates, I guess, for Suboxone. I have had people reach out to me in the past. We've emailed long-term Suboxone users, and I was kind of hoping they'd pop up today. This was going to be at noon, like I said. This is for addiction recovery. To me, this is not a great time. It's not. And as I said Monday, so this channel is primarily was for prison stuff. Got off from the mob stuff. Still talking about that a little bit. So just to come out and just do addiction recovery over, that'll be a lesser audience, but something that I'm very passionate about, especially since that's where I'm at in my life as far as substance. Well, across the board, dude. Across the board. Across the board, I'm trying to get it. No, across the board, I am doing it. I had a, what do you call it today? Not a relapse, actually, a lapse. And that included mom. I don't know if you guys saw that short too. I have a manja mom. You Italians might know what that means. Eat, eat, eat. Italian and Mexican moms are a lot alike. I do believe. And my mom came down, and there she is right there, talking about bringing me food to sliced cheese and oatmeal. Oh, and bread. I'll cancel the bread. That's what she does. Okay, anyway. Meth destroys teeth. Would you say? I'm sorry, the subs destroy teeth. And meth, I was going to make the connection. That's why I said, oh, Friday on the Addiction and Recovery Show. Friday's also a bad day to do a lot of things. Don't care, because it'll be there for people to watch if they want to go watch it. Meth and sex. Meth and sex, I'll be talking about that, okay? Yeah. So, I was going to read something. Okay, hold on. So, the tooth decay loss, is that the one? We are no longer accepting. No, I don't want this idiot. This one. Suboxone tooth decay lawsuits have been consolidated into a multi-district litigation in Ohio. Wow, why am I not surprised it's Ohio? Well, because Ohio has just this terrible heroin, fentanyl, everything problem, I guess. For more than a decade, Suboxone was the only buprenorphine naloxone medication available to treat opioid addiction. Suboxone users were not warned about the potential for the catastrophic dental injuries, promoting product liability lawsuits against manufacturers. Users affected by Suboxone-related tooth decay may recover economic and non-economic damages with legal representation. If you are, okay, why choose WHG? Oh, this is from the lawsuit. This is from lawsuit people. Oh, these are idiots too. Tirelessly in. Hold on. Oh, shit. Did I screw this up? This is the lawyers. Oh, man. I told you I wouldn't with it today. Okay, there's a lawsuit on Suboxone, right? So they're saying that the saliva, it takes away your saliva, right? So now I'm not reading it, so I'm just going off of it, off of what I remember. I was on Suboxone in prison. That's where I first started doing it. I first heard about it. And it came out in 2002. The strips, here's what they're saying. I don't know if that includes overseas. I think they started before in Australia. They were way more hip to the stuff than we were for a lot longer. And there was, I knew somebody in Australia that was on this stuff. And out of the blue from Australia, I've told this story many times, but let's just speed it up. She ends up sending me Suboxone underneath a stamp and a letter. And I didn't know it was there for a month. And then she ended up asking me about it, and then I figured it out. I didn't throw away letters right away. So that was in, not 11, I'm sorry, that was in 2013. And then 14 or something, I started doing it regularly on and off in prison. And for sure you get dry mouth. Oh, I might add that later on in life when I got out, I was on Suboxone out here. And the strips, which I believe the lawsuit is based on the strips. And I remember dry mouth for sure, but meth gives you dry mouth too. And when I first, that's not true. I was not on Suboxone until 2023. So I was using more meth at that time too. So you get dry mouth, hence the reason if you carry, you get gum that for saliva and stuff like that. But I have a friend that's been on it for a long time and swears by it. Swears by the stuff. And he believes Suboxone's great for cravings for other drugs. He lives a normal life now, thriving in his life right now. Excuse me. Speaking of teeth and rot, you know what? This just made me feel queasy, by the way. Sometimes it does that, and probably, my bad. Probably because of the allergy medication. Damn, it has just rocked me. And I made a comment, by the way, that I said the first thought that came to my mind after that when I woke up, like, wow, this shit just knocked me out, was I wonder if you could snort it. My brain actually did that too. But it was more like it wasn't like that's what I wanted to do, but it was just the fact that it popped up like that, man. It's like, once you start thinking about drinking, once you stop, like you can look at it and don't even think. Once you look at, you shouldn't be looking at cocaine, meth, and other drugs anyway, or be around people that do it. But I was gonna say, once you look at it and you know that you don't want to do it, that's when you got addiction late. When you stop thinking about it, period. I learned that in my psychology videos. It's good stuff, actually. I watch a lot of psychology videos. Suboxone is like that. It's getting off of, huh? Justin, excuse me. Yeah, it was for sure 2 weeks. For sure. You have to have had your past 20 of dental records to sue. Past 20, Michael, is that true? I'm 2 years clean. It took math to kick, oh no, I know what you're saying, to kick Suboxone habit. Being I was 4 years on subs, so I know people who've done that too. Who has that? Who has that, Michael? Who has what? I do know people that have done that in the cross addiction. A lot of people. I first heard about people really that were strung out on both, or they would get off one and go on the other, was from guys from Alaska, of all places, in prison. I never thought that Alaska had the problem that they do. Didn't know. You think of Alaska as just some snowy place that stays snowy and dark. But Anchorage, wow. Okay. Yeah, that's what my wife told me, 20 years of, past dental records. So you're saying 20, by the way, my friend who swears by it had gum problems and had, like, I don't know if it was gum scrapings or put from one place. I forgot how it was. Then he read about it. He's going for it right now. He's going to enter it right now, I do believe. But I was wondering, because they're talking about the films, what about the shots? When I had shots in the hospital, my mouth got dry. I had dry mouth quite a bit because of it. Damn, what was the point I was going to make? What was the point? That's okay, so I know I'm having a bad night like that. I do get forgetful, but I just went completely blank. Okay, not with it, but I'm here. It's because when you're on Suboxone and you kick it, you have no energy. You're right. That makes total sense. That makes total sense. Yeah, just the strips. How do you say it? Sublinguals? Sublinguals? Oh yeah, FDA. So the FDA approved this. There's such pieces of garbage, man. I just go back to always in the opioid crisis, what they did. I think it was maybe one individual. The FDA is a joke. I guess they do good things. I do. But really, they're just about furthering pharmaceutical companies, it seems like. Or at least they're in bed with them, can be bought off by them, which we know. So it's hard to trust that. The strip and the pill that you have to have under the tongue. The pill too. So I'm not familiar. The pills I was familiar with. Somebody's girlfriend I knew down this way had some, and I broke them up. We did lines on them or something like that, you know. I mean we did that. I was just not gonna go down that. Take that sub shot. It's the best. Beantown. I had 2 weeks of withdrawals. I know there's people that say that they didn't. I know there is. And I will say this, it could have been exasperated. It could have been part of depression too. So I'm fully aware of that. And I had more than one person tell me about that. I had more than one person tell me that there was no withdrawals. And then I had others saying it was miserable. A lot of psychological stuff going on there, maybe. You know what I mean? Oh, I know what I was going to say. Just pop back up. You know what we're forgetting on Suboxone and people that have been on it and might be on it now? As I'm wondering. I mean, it is a synthetic opiate. And opiates do affect not mental, not emotional. So you feel distant, or you can't, to me, you can't be fully engaged, I guess, emotionally is what I'm trying to say. That's when I look back, that's how it made me feel, right? Yeah. Anyway, why am blank right now? I ain't gonna lie. The truth, thank you, Robert. I'm here. What's up, the truth? Thank you. Wow, I did it. Okay, could be. Yeah, that's probably in response to the shot. What else? Damn, I had like a whole platform. Can I go to bed now? Yeah, just like I said, I'm out of it today. I really am. I felt lethargic all day. You know, actually, I had phone calls. I had like a bunch of phone calls today. I had one of them I was staying on for a long time. I didn't feel bad whatsoever when I was on the phone. Like none. As soon as I hung up, I felt drained. And this goes on to allergy tablets from last night. Maybe because my body's so clean. Yeah, it's just it's nuts. I almost feel like I do. Lowrider, what's up? You're one of the most real and best guys. Thanks, Beantown. I appreciate it. I appreciate that. I do. What else? Dragon, help me. Be here tomorrow night. Be here tomorrow night. What was I gonna say? That screwed me up that I lost that. So this is what I was gonna do. I had 3 things on Suboxone. I had 2 were from the lawyers. Then I had 1 all about the lawsuit, not involved in the lawyer. And as I was reading it, my mom was coming up with comments, not even sarcastic ones. So I was gonna read on it and talk on it. That's what I was gonna do. And that blew my whole platform. For real. Yeah, damn it, I can't. It's not like right here saying. And I don't do search history save or whatever you call it. So I blew it. Big time. Big time. It sucks. Okay. I've been on Suboxone for 10 years. All I can say is that it saved my life, and I'll never say sorry for that. Dave Menard, and listen, again, I can't go back and talk about the guy I just talked to tonight, who is such a big advocate of it, because he literally stopped using drugs and crime. It all went with it. Excuse me. It all went with it, and he became somebody. And man, just talking to him today and seeing where he's at in the house, what he's got, what he's aiming for the future and retirement plans. He's the same person, but that would have been somebody who I would have thought would have pulled off like a diamond heist, or at least got caught and went back to prison for it, or shot his way out of it, and just normal Joe, it's amazing. So he attributes Suboxone to that 1,000%. So when people like this say that Suboxone saved my life, and you don't have to apologize. In my opinions, if I'm against it, and I would have more to say about it if I felt better and was reading that, because I do have, I have questions. So it led into questions about emotional states, mental states, relationships, sexual relationship. There was a lot for me to go off of in that. And if I wasn't so blah, I would probably remember a lot of it. But I remember when I read it after my friend told me about it, I said, this will be great for the show, a show, you know, content to open it up with. And now, wow, okay. Oh God. Just in full disclosure, I did once. Uh, did I do it twice? No, I was going to. I did once. I did once in prison. Stupid. It's stupid. And guys get so strung out. The guys that use Suboxone intravenously are just, they're looking for the poke. It's about the needle. It's not about anything else. And I don't care because these guys swear by it. No, it's about the needle. 29 watching, hit the big X on the top right corner of your screen and hit the button respectfully, then hit the live chat. You won't miss a reward. Respectfully, Rob. Thanks, Richard Dowling. I appreciate it. Again, I can't say enough. Oh, here it goes. Joey. What's up, Joey? I can say honestly, LA County Jail quit my drug crime. Ooh. Joey, you just opened that door. Yeah. So, you know, a lot of law enforcement people, and Joey, I'm not calling you a cop, so don't say it, don't, you know. A lot of law enforcement say that. You said LA County. I went to LA County, I didn't use in the, at Wayside, I bought a fake joint off somebody. Yeah, I bought a fake joint off somebody, it was fake. But Arkansas Department of Corrections, the first time the violation, I was in the county jail, that's when I started using and drinking and stuff in prison, really, was a violation. Before that, I went to prison and I was, let me back up, Chino. No, okay, yeah, it was then. I went to prison and yeah, I was trying to come home to the wife and kids. You know, I wanted to out as fast as I can as far as what the law allowed, you know, and but it didn't stop me. The first time I came home, I went straight from jail to the Connect's house at midnight, you know. But I mean, I was dealing, I got hooked up, I got plugged, but I used, you know. If jails and prisons were substance out, I mean, if it was free of all that stuff, I can see the point. And I'll say this, so Joey, that was from your experience, and that's awesome. So thanks for sharing that. I think prisons, because of the amount of people that go in with substance abuse problems, need to be geared towards that more. Make it mandatory part of release and stuff like that. I do. That's funny. Was it you that brought that up? Were you the first person? I think you might have been. Now, the comment they're talking about, but it's called Suboxone got me clean 13 years ago. Was on it for 3. Was hard to get off, but was worth it. Was on methadone program before that and can never stay clean. On Suboxone saved my life. So you bring up a point. The reason methadone, because you can still use, right? I'm almost positive that you can still use. The girl I knew in Australia was on methadone and she didn't want to be on Suboxone because it screwed up her high, where she used every 2 weeks. They called that back in the day a joy banger. Joy bang. That's a term from the 50s and 60s, or the 40s and 50s, whatever. But so I think that's the deal with methadone. But Suboxone, yeah. So there's a lot of stories like yours, Loretta. A lot. I was in the Twin Towers and only used pills on the streets. Okay, jail drugs were nuts to me. Yeah. What's up, Mike? How you doing, buddy? Hey there, Gennaro Boots. Yes, Loretta. Okay, right. Yeah. So you cannot deny the success that Suboxone has. The question I then have is, like, for what's his name said, saved his life unapologetic. I believe that it was always only for temporary use, and they've prolonged it because it makes them money, pharmaceutical companies. Are you convinced now that if you stopped, you'd start using after all that time? I wonder. And that is not, that's a question, not a put down or a, you know what I mean? That's all. towers, everyone the writer. Totally, yes. Okay, that, yeah. You do believe. So you do believe that you go back on. But okay, so Dave, serious, that's what I need to have on. Somebody like you as a guest with with like somebody that's, you know, and not in a fighting way. So I guess my question would be, Dave, if you've been on it that long, so you've been out, say yes or no. Is it correct to say you've been out of the drug circuit or not around people that use? Is that a correct assumption? If you can answer. Does it take too long for the comments to come back? Both. I just asked. Have you been around? Okay, so basically you're in the position where you can be around people in that life and it's okay because you're on Suboxone. Okay, so if that's the truth and if what I'm saying is accurate, you know, a normal person would say, why are you around them then? Right? Why are the only people that I can be around now? No, I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to say that. You're doing exactly what the program calls. Whoa, you just got my attention. Hold on. I never got prescribed subs, but I used them to get off pills. Just started by cutting up a strip thirds. Okay, yeah, walk me out. That's awesome. You're doing exactly what the program calls for. Can you elaborate, Dave? I don't mean to put you on the spot, so you're helping me further the show. That's really what I wanted this to be about. My ideal dream for the addiction and recovery segments that I'm doing is that I start with the topic, I talk about it and do better than I did tonight, and then go question and answers or talk about it and have people speak or comment, and then that's what, you know. But since I am a flake host tonight, oh, okay, Dave, okay. Oh, okay, now I got you. So you're doing what the program calls for, which is to stay away from people, places, and things. So then, if you stop using now, why do you think you would go back after all this time? And being away from that life, it would seem that it would, no, this is important because it is a real thing. Getting off is a pain, and the depression and the psychological aspect sucks. It seemed that A, you didn't want to do that, and B, well, I think that's most of the reason why people don't want to get off. Because it would seem like there would be no other reason for you to. I'm not 13 years clean, dude. You know what I'm saying? I haven't done that. So nobody can put themselves in somebody else's shoes. Not one single person. They can't. I am an addict sympathizer. It does bother me that AA and NA get rough with people. Okay, you're not done yet, but I see the mentality too. Well, anyway, I'm just kind of rambling. And damn, I mean, I am just like so tired right now. It's nuts. Hey kids, don't do allergy tablets, or take them as prescribed. Don't do 2 at one time. Hey Rob, I'm on methadone maintenance and it kept me off all the drugs, so it's working for me. Yeah, Dave, everyone's different for sure. It's the long term with these things that you always have to change your scenery if you want to see change. Justin, you know what? I totally get what you're saying, but everywhere you go, there you are. Everywhere you go, there you are. And we know as people that have substance abuse disorder that it doesn't matter where you are. We are magnets. We can see a person. Well, meth is easier. Just look for everybody who has no teeth. No, 75%. More look for the person who has no teeth. But you know what I'm saying. You get what I'm saying totally. You're an addict and you always will be. Another issue, Dave, you're good. You're like, Okay. Man, I think we need to stop telling ourselves that. And then somebody could come back and say, let's play the other side, that you'd be fooling yourselves. I'm watching psychology shows. There's a book called The Unbroken Brain by a left-wing lib, nice lady. We corresponded for a minute, Mia something. Seth Ferranti, I remember, read the book, did an article about it, and was like, I'm not an addict anymore, you know, and I'm not trying to downplay it. I think if we start telling ourselves or mentally train ourselves to get out of that, not in the beginning stages, that might not be good to say always. However, look, again, it's individual choice. Whatever works for somebody is fine. I question people that just do marijuana that are addicts and long-term maintenance programs. I question them. Who am I? Who am I? Just a person on YouTube, right? That's isolated in a little small town and okay with that. The withdrawals from they're horrible. The depression's what really gets me. Yes, and the reason the depression goes is because what? Depression for addicts is sometimes our comfort zone, even if we want to admit it or not even realize it. Okay, Suboxone was originally used as a sublingual painkiller medication in the 60s. Thanks, bro. I'm sure there's some prisons they abuse everything. They're snorting nicotine in prison. They're abusing nicotine pouches. Some people, the psych patients in Butner Hospital, and I think elsewhere, are not allowed coffee because they snort it so much. Yeah, it's true. Hold on, Dave. Yes, I know I would be a mofo to stop box, but I love the therapy. Oh, okay. Okay, Dave, I got you. When you say therapy, is it at individual counselors or the AANA stuff? If you don't mind. Suboxone. Okay, I already got that. This is off the subject, but maybe on. I also question. This is me. I question people that stay going to psychologists long term. So if you have an issue and you go there and you're talking, even like a marriage counselor, right? I don't think it's healthy. It's bad. To keep going and live by the wisdom of a psychologist to get you through, but then again, you go there and you talk. Okay, I'm more pondering right now. What's this, Doug Ross? Whoa, member for 8 months. Okay, Doug, what's up, bud? How you doing? Wow, you've been a member a long time. And Doug Ross, thank you very much too, by the way. Been a bit. Okay, hold on. Hey, Rob, what's up, Doc? In the end, all I wanted was to feel normal. Let's go back to Justin. I want to see something. Oh, just as long as you change your scenery? Okay. Feel normal again. That's what I crave. That's what I crave still. You know what I'm saying? And again, when it comes to me, I'm talking about all aspects of my addiction history. Gifted one membership. Thank you, Doug, for gifting a membership to somebody. Thank you. Been a bit, is that the person you gifted? I'm wondering. I don't know. Are you just saying that? But it's okay. That's where I'm at in my life. Okay, Justin. I got you, bro. Oh, counseling that I'm forced to do. Okay, law enforcement issues. But you enjoy it. I was made to go to outpatient program originally. I did and stayed on by choice after the first 4 months. But there's a difference between going to more of a professional. No, no, that's not true. That's not true. Hell, that's what I'm just going to cut my own throat right there, because I'm aiming to be a counselor at some point, and I'm not going to go on and be I'm not going to school for psychology, and I do believe that just me, even right now, even if I was to do a bunch of perks like I did in a Butner, and then go preach to the choir about sobriety, great, and don't be like me, and I believe I'd be effective and can be. And I will say, I'm not trying to toot my own horn. Both times in rehab, when I was in rehab the first time with stinking thinking in the back of my brain, meaning I just lost a bunch of money gambling. I was around, it was like putting me back in prison almost, meaning the criminal element. And then I started thinking about crime. And when people found out that I relapsed, I had met a guy in Cimarron, younger black kid that I was with. He said it crushed the whole group, because people did not believe that I would, they believed that I'd be like, they say in group 1 in 30 people are going to make it, not relapse, and they believed that I was that guy. Even some of them that knew that I was geared towards maybe making some stupid moves thought that I would not relapse. That's true. And the second time, I'm not going to say the group, but when the day I'd coined out, got my chip, it was a pretty awesome moment. You know, all the guys were like, you know, because usually in a group, people coin out. The guys that are really participating, you know, you got a guys that missed them. Everybody signs a piece of paper. Everybody got up for me and clapped. It was people thanked me. One kid said that he wished that that he thought of me as the father that he never had. Boy, I thought about him after I relapsed too, you know. So my point of the thing was, professionals, people in the know, anybody can be a positive force and influence in somebody's life, or multiple people's life in a group setting, whatever, you know. And I believe that the original counselors that I had, even 3 of them, I liked one quite a bit, weren't the best, you know, for me at the time. And I'm also a difficult case for counselors that are not used to somebody who came out, had a life sentence, was given so much, the marriage, and then was lying about drinking. They didn't know how to deal with me, a lot of them. They didn't. And it's not like, well, I guess I was a unique case, but it's not like other people, there's not been a bunch of people like me, but I think that even the one who was one of the toughest, strictest counselors, who I left, the one of the counselors, poor little fat girl, I left her because she was just, well, I told the story. I was having like a breakdown one day. I talked for like 54 minutes, 54-minute sentence, and was waiting for something. And at the end, she looked at me and said, "Would you like to try a breathing technique?" Don't want to bash your face in, baby. I was like, oh my God, go eat a Swiss roll and smoke a cigarette and leave me alone. You know what I mean? It was like crazy. It was crazy. Keeps me grounded. I have too much to lose to take away and risk to quit. Okay, bud. I got you, Dave. And do you? Been since you fired up, my friend. Oh yeah, you've been since the beginning. You have, Doug. Not lawfully forced. Oh, okay. I got you, bro. I got you, Dave. Kyle D. Keep yourself golden. Love you, brother. Thank you, Kyle. I think you're the Kyle I know, Kyle, or you're a different Kyle. I think, because I haven't looked, and you know, I've seen you before, and I just caught on that you might be. Did I know you when you were younger? Is that the same Kyle or not? It's okay if not. Anyway, okay, where are we at? Um, I don't know. But again, thanks, Doug, for for um, for gifting the membership. I appreciate it. Um, what else? Yeah, guys, look, so I've been here 45 minutes. I'm telling you, when I close this, I already got stuff stormproof for the yard. I will be in bed in 15 minutes. I will be in bed in 15 minutes. Preparing for the big show tomorrow. I shouldn't oversell it. I shouldn't overhype it. Hold on, let me see something. Okay, Kyle. Okay, I wasn't sure. You have, so I'm looking, I just see a little photo. I can't see the whole thing. I saw somebody that looks like maybe a marriage, a marriage photo. And just for a second, that's all. Okay, Gina. It's required for subs a 2-week phone consultation, followed by an in-person appointment. So it's basically 2 appointments a month with the Dr. Good people, but it now seems money operation. Okay, so yeah, so here it was they did it was monthly. No. I had to see the psych monthly. Piss in a bottle. Everything good. Yeah, okay, bye. There was 2 times I went through. The first psych was really good. And then I was already in counseling per probation. And so look at how dingy. So getting back, that psychologist I told you about, she needs to go smoke a cigarette and eat a Swiss roll. I picked a different one, and this one was like, she was like a cop almost, Matter of fact, when the first session I went to with her, I said, before we begin, I want to ask you a question. Yeah. If I say something here, will you tell probation? And she says, well, it's all about consequences and actions. Yes. And I'm like, blew it right there. But I did try to open up as best as possible with her. And she just didn't know how to deal with me. They didn't know how to deal, because I looked good and talked good on the surface. Even when I had all kinds of problems, it was like they didn't take into consideration the long-term incarceration effects, the continuous post-traumatic stress syndrome disorder or whatever. And I do believe that that's a real thing. And as of today, I realized something else, which is what I'm going to talk about on Friday, which is meth and sex. I learned in a 5-minute video what I knew about methamphetamine and its effects on sex, but other stuff. And it's really, meth does something to me anyway, and I absolutely believe to others, more emotional damage long term. Or, for example, I only did it for 8 months. I say 8 months, maybe there was a couple times. I remember for 8 months where it was a Thursday thing. On Thursdays, 3 hits off a pipe, and then it became 5 hits off a pipe. Or snort a baby line. But the point is, just doing that amount changed me emotionally, which affected my mental state. But changed me. It was about the emotion. I am already emotionally stunted, a child. There's good points in that. Not about the emotional aspect, but I'm like in my 20s. Really is how I act. Maybe late teens, and that keeps me younger. And I can identify with younger people, except the music. Not even, except a bunch of different things. But so that's the good thing of it. But man, if I would have seen the video I did today, and I'll talk about it specifically, it put into perspective so much more things that were going wrong in my life, in my personal life, and personal relationships, blew it out the door. I cannot believe that it's not being taught in rehab more. I said on the first day, well, it's the only other one, Monday, that in my future will be a counseling, if not and or both, with a program. A lot of programs out there. There needs to be more. And I think I found it today. I think I found what I was looking for. And I don't know. That's a long work in progress. But I can start outlining something based on what I saw today. I do believe. And the person's a psychiatrist. And it was just he hit it out. He was just fantastic. I wish the best for you, but it seems a relapse is coming. Okay, it did today. It did today. I ate pizza and lasagna. I didn't touch the spaghetti. So it's there. Rob, this is off topic. Whatever came from the shit about you being dragged by the coppers. Doug, I've been adamant saying that I'm not going to respond to other comments besides addiction and recovery, but since you were one of the first, like literally, my subs, I'm going through it right now. And guess what I just got? Guess what I just got? What is it? Not thumbnail. Thumb drive? Is that what it is? With the videos, and they're missing some. And you know what? I'm going to put some on it. I look like a jackass. I look like a jackass. And in my lawsuit, I talked about how people were yelling at the cops, stop. And I'm looking at the tapes and everybody's in bed. But there were people in the back. I know for a fact. I know who they were. It was like, it was early in the morning. Yeah, man, it looks stupid. It looks stupid. I look stupid. It was, I'm not going to say embarrassing because of, I'm in litigation. But I passed all, so real quick, in the jail, I got dragged down the stairs. And please, people, don't start with other topics. Doug literally has been one of my first subs, okay? And I'm flat today, and I'm tired. And this is fun and easy, or funny, stupid, whatever. I refused to go to court because they wouldn't give me a shave. And I'm talking about, they don't allow razors in this jail at all. Once a month, they'll let you run a number 1 clipper over your hair, and you got to shave all your facial hair off, or nothing. The court forced a policy where federal court sent a memo saying all federal prisoners or detainees are allowed a court shave before appearing in federal court. 5 times prior to this, I was able to use a razor. I shave my head with a razor and keep a goatee. The judge and I look quite a bit alike, as a matter of fact. And I had some jackass guard tell me that I had to shave my goatee and I couldn't use a razor for my head at 4:30 in the morning or something like that. And we had a bunch of words, and he said that he can literally hold me down and shave my face if I want. This is what this idiot told me. And my response, which I come out with a lot, is, and I can literally slap the cum out of your mouth if I wanted to. That's what I told him. Yeah. And I almost did. I was an opiate, I was addicted to opiates for 5 years. Tried to quit 100 times, but on the 110th, finally did. Robert, that was a great comment. That was great. You know what? I swear, if you know people who know me, in prison, I've got a journal about I have 3 journals, and every journal, every other page says this is the last time I'm going to do drugs. And I believed it. It became a joke. Hell, even out here now, to come to think about it, back in I always said that to everybody. Okay, you ain't going to see me no more. You guys, listen, bro. Love you. I'm just not going to be around for a while. Hello. Knock, knock, knock. It's me. Man, it's true. Oh, that's for a whole series. I will say this. No, I learned that from Amber Hollingsworth about when people are fired up and say they want to quit, but when they're sober. I used to do it when I got high. I think I loved being high and thinking about quitting. You know how much money in my life I've wasted on getting high to think about when I quit and to fantasize about when I quit? The last hurrah, this will be the last time. I've got journals about it, man. Journals. There was one that I said, you know what? But why should I quit? I'll read those. Those will be coming out. Those will come out. All this content that's laying on this table, they're coming out again. I said it the other day. What happens is it's easy. These are just easy to pop off. Being just full disclosure. And on that note, there's something else I've realized in the last 48 hours. I can have a plan set out for YouTube. And I can spend, let's just dream. I can spend a couple hours getting ready to do a video, getting ready to do a live. This is what I'm going to do, And within a split second, I do something else. How many videos, if you go back and look at the videos, I said I was going to do something else today. Why do I do that? What is it? ADHD? No. It's because every time I did it, I took the easy way out. Even down to today, I had planned on something more, but it's when I have a work project, when I used to do more work around here, or I should say, move things from over here to over there, which I did all the time, which was methamphetamine related. I got to put everything in the barn. Okay, I got to clean the barn, so I got to take everything out. I got to move the wood over here. I got to put the wood over there. And then I end up burning all the wood. But anyway, I'd said, okay, today I'm going to go and take a chainsaw and cut the walnut tree, some branches off the walnut trees. And I'm walking over to go get the chainsaw, and then I see a wood pile that I move. Because it was easier to actually do that. This is me searching inside myself, asking and wondering. And I think I came up with, I think it's because it's the easy way out. I do. Even the videos that I just said that I was going to do this, this, and this, and then boom. Yeah. And then I must add, back in the day when I was off into mob tube real heavy, that was super, super easy. You know, it was so easy and so much fun. And so much fun because I was deflecting from what was going on in my life. At the time, that was true. These videos I put up recently that's stirring a little bit, and tomorrow night, that's not just, that's not about me taking off and just doing it for fun. It's different. Doug knows what I'm talking about. He saw the decline, some would say entertainment, whatever. Yeah. Maybe I'll sing a song tomorrow night too. Meth is literally the devil. It kills family. At least fentanyl and H just kills the person. Wow, Dave. So my judge said something about meth being the scourge and stuff like that. I'm ready to yeah, he did, and it does. So people that don't understand, if you're on methamphetamine, it's like living in a cartoon. You're full-time in a cartoon. Chemical composition of meth is so sick, pure poison for the soul. James, it changes people so much. It does. Very few people that I know, well, I used to know more. When I was back here in the 90s, when I first moved back, I brought cocaine back here, okay, to this area. It's not that there was crack cocaine up in Fort Smith, but the powder cocaine at $1,600 an ounce minimum and $300 eighths. Well, a little bit, but I brought powder to this area. That's what I brought with. They were all using the old style methamphetamine at the time, and I knew a lot of people that worked in Whirlpool specifically, the factory up here, the big factory, that did speed functioning normal people. I don't know, take a snapshot of their lives 10 years later, not really sure, but for 5 years that I know of, I've seen some declines for sure, but I've seen a lot be able to, yeah, that did all right. But as far as the chemical, I wonder what the chemicals were like in the original meth made in Germany, the pills that went around. Okay, hold on. Amazing, we do recover. I celebrated 8 years in February. Kyle, awesome. Congratulations on that. Me, when I'm talking about recovery, of course I'm talking about drugs and alcohol, but it's much more to me. Today was a relapse. It was a lapse, not getting up when I said, and I have to go back and think about this. I just said, I will get off here and be asleep in 15 minutes tonight. I'm telling you, I'm just whacked. I'm just down. But maybe, I don't know if I should change my schedule. I was trying to do normal Joe schedule, I think maybe I need to go later on to the night. Oh, gee, Mike, I think I need to go later on to the night and wake up. Like, I'll see. But tonight, that's dead. That's dead. That's dead. I'm going to be out and setting my alarm and not taking generic allergy pills. No. Later, bro. We go over it. Right on. How come that person when the relapse says that? Hold on. Did I just miss you for some reason? How can anyone say a person is going to relapse? It's very, very easy to say about an addict, but Rob, I believe, has got it this time. It comes down. Thanks, Doug. I appreciate that. I appreciate that. At the same time, I got it this time. Okay, I was going to say something else, but no, I have to retrain my brain. I got it this time. Right on. Bring back the old school original Dilapa, or are you saying dopamine? Spirit of New Orleans, what's up? Okay, hold on. Rob, do you think you are trying too hard and can't accomplish things quick? No, I don't think I'm trying too hard. To the contrary, things quick or clean enough. No, to the contrary, I procrastinate too much. Well, maybe I should take more time. Should have taken more time before I committed myself to, even on YouTube, saying 3 days a week. Maybe there's an argument. I think I had really planned for, which is just a week or so, May to June, I think. I never had anything, but there came not just one day, but a couple days back to back when I said, why do I keep waiting to do this? And again, it had to do with food too. And me realizing it was when I started jonesing for more tobacco, because I have, ever since I got out, I bought a can, I don't think about it. Started feeling, so I'd feel miserable when I overeat. And I swell up too, by the way. I can see it in my videos, I don't know. It's trained. And anybody that knows me, that's been around me or lived with me knows that. Using tobacco as a way not to eat. And then realizing that I needed tobacco, it was like that whole thing, and I'm like, I'm an addiction. This is how, and why am I putting this up? Let's do this now. Let's do this. I'm gonna do this and exercise and this. So there's that in there too, but I won't talk about that at this point. So, we also may have low numbers tonight because Brett and Dom. It's okay. Yeah, and really, Spirit of New Orleans, it's okay. That's cool. I didn't expect about this issue to stay on addiction and recovery. So I kind of figured, okay, what's the best night to do this? What's the best night to do lives for me, for everybody? Tuesdays and Thursdays seem really good. Saturdays, the Saturday crowd, I think we're older, right? That seems to be good, like from at least 10 Central, 11 o'clock Over so. When it came to the addiction and recovery, I'm like, just do it. It'll be videos that people want to see. By the way, the numbers are lower. I get that. I always figured that. But I haven't tried to bring in that crowd so much either. You know, I'm baby steps on that. And again, you know, by the way, I got 16,000 subs. I want to say thank you guys for subbing. I went over 16. So it's still a smaller channel. I am getting decent views for my channel for sure. The prison stuff, the gang stuff, the mob stuff, of course. But so those are different people. And so some you got people, Doug, they'll watch. They're on all of it. There's I know the subs that'll watch all of it, but there's still different groups and different crowds. I have not tried to really aim for that, like aim for a really this channel is gonna be about this seriously. That will come. When I do, I will have counselors and stuff on too. So I've got people that will come on the show from rehab places, sponsored, stuff like that. That's coming. I'm just working my way into this, so I'm still just creeping into this. But this is more about me right now. You know, the 3 days a week, 12 o'clock, that's schedules. And today, I couldn't believe it was 1:47. I was just like, I just knew the power went out, but the clocks weren't blinking. And I had to go look at the phone. And my mom calls. I've got lasagna, pasta, and pizza. I'm like, oh man, okay. Yeah, so it's like I said. Okay, anyway. Robert Wasso refused a haircut. Robert Wasso threw a fit like a child over a razor and instant. Yeah, and who's gonna get paid? Concrete, concentrate on yourself and hear you first. It's all part of. So you got to understand what I'm doing and where I'm at. I'm stuck down in the country, and this is part of my life, YouTube. So I'm going to grow this channel. It's going to happen. Make prison a memory and let it fade away. It's impossible. Funny you said that. What is my name again? Vegas Profile Store. Profile, not prison. Okay, what's up, Vegas? You have a channel? I gotta go look. I thought your Vegas prison stores from it. So what is my name? Yeah. Make prison a part of the path. Right now in my life, I'm a YouTube content creator who talks about prison and other stuff. I have a friend, again, same friend I've been bringing up, that got on Suboxone, left crime, all that, has a normal life, and for like, 5-6 years now, 7 years now, it's let all that go. The prison stuff. Recently, since it's been talking to me, so guys that have been in prison, they've done a lot of time in prison, they see shows, prison shows, it does something, Even if it's like, oh man, I'm so glad I'm not in that, it kind of captures you, but there is when it comes to prison and prison stories and stuff like that, there's still a criminal justice reform little thing here in the back of my head. And when I say stuff like that, it is because I still know and have connections in places that can affect criminal justice reform, or reach out to my sentencing judge who told me if I got my life together, reach out to him. He'd love to hear from me. And people in those circles, I know that would want to hear from somebody who came out of prison and got his life together. Okay. So, but anyway, bottom line is, I'm on YouTube right now. There's a platform for me. There's a place for these stories, and it is. Yeah, I'm fine with that. Yeah, I am. But Mike, or what is your name? I totally get what you're saying. Okay, American Pro. Appreciate it. Understand the freedom of addiction. Yeah, freedom from addiction. Freedom from addiction is when you can look at a food and not want to overeat, look at a beer and not think about drinking about it, and not even think about drugs. I said on a live and when I started this show, it was sick when I woke up. And this wasn't something I wanted to do, but my brain, the first thing was like, I can't believe these 2 allergy pills just did this to me. Huh, wonder what snorting them would do. Who thinks like that? An addict? It wasn't, I wonder what snorting them would do because I want to go do it. I felt like crap. I still feel like crap. But my brain, so yeah, I got a broken brain, not an unbroken one. Thanks, Dave. A77, so I'm not, okay, did you have any interaction with Ruby? So I'm not talking about anything but addiction and recovery at this point. That's not disrespect. Come tomorrow night, okay? So when I do addiction and recovery stuff, I started off the show, Doug Ross has been a sub since the beginning. That's the only reason I talked about anything but. That's it, okay? I owe that to him. He's been a super, super supporter. Thanks, Beer Grande. Thanks, Kyle D. I appreciate it. When you're going through rehab and working the program, I tell you, they kick your ass busy. You are exhausted by the day's end. And for real, then when you're free of the rehabilitation, well, yeah, there you go. And imagine the freedom of not needing one alcohol. Yes, it sounds awesome. I believe that. Dude, I think that's one of the problems with AA and NA. The biggest mistake in recovery is talking and dwelling on it. So, okay, and I think you're probably even saying that about me right now, which is cool. Again, dude, I'm making a living off YouTube right now, okay? And not much. Cost of living's cheap down here, okay? But it's what I have to work with what I have. What I have is a vehicle that I can't even be driving every day knowing I can get to a job in Fort Smith, for example, okay? I don't have it. And I'm fine with that. So I took what I had. When I first started off, I was trying to do like the online surveys and stuff just to eke it out. And then I'm like, why don't I just put more content on YouTube? And it's been working. You know, I live in a place where the cost of living is super cheap. However, there's isolation. Social stuff is not well. You know what I mean? By myself. But for me in my life right now, according to Carl Jung, it's okay. What I'm doing is fantastic, right? Anyway. Okay, listen, I'm going to cut it off tonight. I didn't want to be here, but I had to come. Tomorrow night, there'll be, what is 777? Ask the question tomorrow night, okay? Okay, here, let me go ahead and, I'm going to get off. I'm going to address it. Did you have any interaction with Herbie, Sperling, or Matty Madonna and Lewisburg? I did not. Both major I did not. Joe Beck, Tipalone was probably before. They were. So yeah, but in general, I'm not gonna do that. Talk about other stuff. Man, there's a reason for it. I'm keeping it that way, but yeah. So tomorrow night, 8 o'clock, I'll tell a story, and it'll all tie into the same issue that I talked about Mike Gill and my wife, for those of you in the mob too. Jonna. I'm not going to name it the Podfather. Lacks respect, even though people will say you're disrespecting him, blah, 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 blah. Talk to you tomorrow night. Thank you for showing up. I appreciate it. Bye. I'm going to bed. Literally.